You know what's funny? Everyone's chasing the newest semi-auto with all the tactical bells and whistles, but the seasoned shooters, especially the older crowd, they're quietly walking the other way. They've been there, done that, and figured out what really matters when adrenaline spikes and your grip isn't what it used to be. This isn't about nostalgia. It's about practicality. Revolvers don't jam when your hands shake, don't demand slide-racking strength, and they sure don't care if they've been sitting in a nightstand for 6 months. Open the cylinder, load it, close it. That's readiness you can literally see. So today, we're taking a fresh look at 10 revolvers that are earning real trust among senior shooters. I've shuffled the list, swapped out a few old names, and added some overlooked gems that deserve their spot. Each one brings something unique, from recoil control to finger-friendly triggers, built for shooters who value simplicity, confidence, and peace of mind. Number 10. Kimber K6s. For shooters who want the muscle of a .357 Magnum without the punishment, the Kimber K6s brings old-school stopping power wrapped in a modern, senior-friendly design. This all-steel, double-action revolver might look like a compact carry gun, but once you get it in your hands, you realize it's engineered with precision that most production revolvers only dream about. The K6s balances beautifully, heavy enough to soak up recoil, light enough to draw without strain. Seniors especially appreciate that balance because it keeps felt recoil low while still giving real authority on target. Kimber cut the cylinder windows slightly larger than typical snub noses, so loading and unloading is easier when your grip strength isn't what it used to be. The trigger pull is one of the smoothest in the class. No stacking, no surprises, just a clean, predictable break every time. For arthritic hands or limited dexterity, that's a game changer. The front and rear sights are crisp, replaceable, and easy to track even under dim light, something most compact revolvers totally overlook. Add in the ergonomic rubber grips, and you've got a revolver that feels solid yet forgiving. Chambered for both .38 Special and .357 Magnum, it gives flexibility to train comfortably and still carry serious defensive rounds when needed. In the real world, this gun just shoots flat. Whether you're running drills at the range or keeping it by the bed, the K6s delivers confidence in every pull. Simple, strong, and refined. It's proof that modern engineering can still respect old-school reliability. Number 9. Smith Wesson 442/642 Airweight. If you want a revolver that disappears on your person and still behaves when it matters, the Smith Wesson 442/642 J-frame line is hard to beat. These are compact defensive tools built around a time-proven geometry that fits small hands without demanding brutal trigger strength. The 442 gives you an internal hammer for snag-free draws and fast presentation, while the 642 brings an exposed hammer if you prefer single-action follow-ups. Either way, you're working with a frame designed to carry .38 Special comfortably and run light practice loads without drama. What seniors tell me over and over is this: consistency matters more than bragging rights. The airweight variants trade steel for scandium or aluminum frames to cut carry burden. And modern grip panels do a lot of the recoil mitigation work that used to require heavy wood or rubber. Loading can be fiddly if you're used to full-size cylinders, so practice with speed loaders or the simple top-off method until it becomes second nature. The smaller cylinder window on older J-frames can be a challenge for arthritic fingers, but many current models and aftermarket grips expand that window or offer better purchase. Out on the range, the 442 and 642 reward measured practice. Smooth, consistent shots at close ranges, quick follow-ups with light loads, and a reliability record that saved more than one nightstand encounter from going sideways. They're not Magnum machines, and that's the point. For concealed carry and day-to-day peace of mind, these tiny workhorses punch well above their weight and demand less from hands that have earned a little wear. Number 8. Taurus Model 856 Ultralight. Taurus's 856 is the quiet bargain that keeps showing up at range nights and senior carry classes for a reason. 6 rounds in a package that's actually comfortable to carry and simple to shoot. That extra round compared to 5-shot J-frames matters more than folks think. It's peace of mind you can count on when training time is limited. The aluminum frame keeps weight down so you'll actually wear it, and modern rubber grips soak up a surprising amount of recoil for such a small package. Loading and unloading are straightforward. The larger cylinder cut helps fingers that don't move like they used to, and the transfer bar safety means you don't have to worry about drops turning into a bigger problem. Folks used to older Taurus runs will tell you about the company's ups and downs, but recent production fixes and lifetime repair policies make the 856 a practical, supported choice for seniors on a budget. On the range, shoot mild 38 special target loads, and you'll be rewarded with controllable follow-ups and an easy sight picture. Yes, it's lighter than a full-size wheel gun, so you'll feel more snap than a heavier revolver, but for everyday carry and short-distance defensive work, the trade-off is worth it. For many older shooters, the ability to carry consistently, without spinal strain or shoulder aches, beats the theoretical advantages of higher-capacity pistols. Simple controls, 6 shots, and an accessible price point make the Taurus 856 a very realistic contender for seniors who want a dependable, no-nonsense revolver. Number 7. Ruger LCR. If you've ever flinched at a heavy double-action pull, the Ruger LCR changes the conversation. This little hammerless revolver was engineered around a friction-reducing cam that smooths the whole trigger stroke. No stacking, no surprise ramps in the pull, which is exactly the kind of thing arthritic fingers need. At around 13.5 ounces in many configurations, it's light enough to carry all day but pairs with a shock-absorbing monogrip that actually softens the sting when you shoot 38 special practice rounds. Because it's hammerless and snag-free, the LCR presents fast and clean from concealment. That profile matters when your mobility or hand speed isn't what it used to be. Fewer catches, fewer fumbling moments. Ruger also offers it in multiple chamberings: 38 special for minimal recoil, 357 Magnum for an emergency option if you can handle it, and the 327 Federal for flatter trajectories at modest recoil. That flexibility lets seniors pick a load path that matches their comfort and confidence. Maintenance is low stress, simple internals, reliable timing, and a trigger feel that stays consistent without fancy gunsmithing. Train with light rounds, practice your reloads with a speed loader or moonclip drill, and the LCR becomes less of a compromise and more of a confidence tool. In short, if your priority is ease of use, predictable trigger behavior, and everyday carry comfort, the Ruger LCR is a very sensible pick. Number 6. Charter Arms Undercover Lighty. The Undercover Light earns its spot because it solves a problem most manufacturers forget. If a gun's too heavy, people stop carrying it. Charter Arms took a clean slate approach: aircraft-grade aluminum frame, simple controls, and a weight that seniors will actually tolerate for daily carry. That matters more than you think. Consistent carry beats theory. Being willing to wear your defensive tool is half the battle. At about a pound, depending on configuration, this revolver is easy to shoulder, easy to manipulate, and surprisingly predictable when fed mild 38 special loads. The trigger face is intentionally wide, so arthritic fingers get purchase and can work the double action without resorting to brute force. The exposed hammer gives you a single action option when you need finer sighted shots, but plenty of folks keep it in double action for defensive simplicity. Fewer malfunctions, fewer steps under stress. Yes, the lightweight frame means a sharper impulse than a heavy stainless wheel gun, but Charter offsets that with soft grip panels and an honest recoil path that's intuitive to manage. Loading is straightforward. Practice a couple times with a speed loader and it becomes muscle memory, not a chore. The Undercover Light is also easy on the wallet and easy to service. Parts and a no-nonsense warranty matter if you're on a fixed budget. If you want something you'll actually carry every day, that won't fight you at the range and won't require complicated maintenance. The Charter Arms Undercover Light is a sensible, pragmatic pick for many senior shooters. Number 5. Ruger SP101. The SP101 is the compact workhorse that quietly does everything you ask without drama. Ruger built this on a stout stainless frame with a triple locking cylinder, which means timing stays perfect and lockup remains tight even after decades of use. A real plus for seniors who don't want to tinker with gunsmith work. That extra mass in the frame soaks up recoil, so 38 special practice rounds feel pleasant, and 357 Magnum, when you choose to run it, comes across as manageable instead of punishing. Grip design matters more than people admit. The SP101's modern rubberized grips reduce the bite on the web of your hand and help get the sights back on target quicker for follow-ups. For older hands that have traded speed for accuracy, that recovery is everything. The trigger is naturally a little heavier than a pocket J-frame, but it breaks clean and predictable, which is what you want when you don't want surprises under stress. Maintenance is low effort. Stainless resists corrosion for long storage, the finish is forgiving, and the parts are widely available if you ever need them. Practical tip: run mild training rounds to build smooth double-action press technique, then work up to occasional defensive loads to understand the trade-offs. For home defense, or a comfortable range companion that won't fight you, the Ruger SP101 strikes a smart balance between durability, controllability, and long-term serviceability. Number 4. Smith & Wesson Model 60. If there's one revolver that perfectly walks the line between comfort and capability, it's the Smith & Wesson Model 60. Built from stainless steel and chambered for both 38 Special and 357 Magnum, it gives seniors the freedom to train with soft, forgiving loads, yet still keep powerful defensive ammo close at hand. The 3-inch barrel version hits a sweet spot, short enough for easy handling, long enough to tame recoil and squeeze real accuracy out of those iron sights. The exposed hammer lets you choose how you want to shoot: single action for precise aimed fire, or double action when speed matters. The trigger is classic Smith, smooth, predictable, and confidence-inspiring once you learn its rhythm. That's part of why the Model 60 remains a mainstay in countless holsters and nightstands after decades of production. For older shooters, its weight actually helps. At roughly 24 ounces, it's heavy enough to absorb recoil, but still portable for range days or belt carry. Stainless construction means minimal maintenance and no rust anxiety, even if it spends long stretches in a drawer. Add aftermarket grips designed for arthritic hands, and you've got a revolver that feels civilized, not punishing. The Model 60 has that rare quality of being both nostalgic and relevant. A revolver with history, reliability, and real-world comfort that proves good design never ages. Number 3. Ruger GP100. When you think about rugged reliability in a full-size revolver, the Ruger GP100 sits right at the top of the shortlist. Built like a tank, it's designed to handle a lifetime of full-power 357 Magnum loads without loosening up or losing timing. But the real reason it belongs in this list for senior shooters is balance. That weight and heft that younger shooters sometimes complain about actually become your best friend as you age. It tames recoil, steadies your aim, and keeps the muzzle from snapping upward after each shot. The double-action pull is firm yet consistent, and it smooths out beautifully after a couple hundred rounds. For shooters with weaker grip strength, pairing it with aftermarket spring kits or factory-smooth triggers can make a huge difference without compromising safety. The rubber grip panels with hard inserts fill the hand comfortably, giving you control even with limited dexterity or joint stiffness. Maintenance is straightforward. Stainless versions shrug off humidity, fingerprints, and neglect. You can leave this gun in a nightstand for months, and it'll still function exactly the same when you need it. With its full underlug barrel, replaceable sights, and rock-solid lockup, the GP100 is a revolver you can depend on through every season of life. From regular range sessions to those quiet moments when simplicity and reliability matter most. Number 2. Smith & Wesson Ultimate Carry J-Frame. The Ultimate Carry is the kind of little revolver that fixes the one-off annoyances older shooters run into and turns them into strengths. Smith & Wesson started with the classic J-frame footprint, then rethought the details seniors actually use, reduced trigger travel, chamfered charge holes for easier loading, and grips tuned to control recoil instead of just looking pretty. That means topping off 38 special rounds isn't a fiddly chore anymore. It's a single, confident motion you can repeat under stress. Out of the box, this gun feels mature. The trigger comes lighter and more predictable than old-school J-frames, so you don't have to tear your fingers up to get an accurate press. The sight picture is usable for its size, and the frame geometry points naturally. For someone with arthritic fingers, those small ergonomic fixes add up. Faster reloads, fewer fumbling moments, and follow-up shots that actually go where you expect. Recoil management is better than you'd guess. With modern grip compounds and reasonable mass, 38 special defensive loads are comfortable enough for training while still offering meaningful defense if you need it. The ultimate carry also avoids unnecessary complexity. No internal locks to confuse someone in a high-stress moment. And the controls are intuitive for caretakers or family members who might need to learn it quickly. If your priority is a compact revolver that's genuinely ready for defensive work without shop tuning, this is one of the best factory options built around realistic senior needs. Number 1. Smith Wesson Model 686. If you want one revolver that combines proven durability, controllability, and a forgiving shooting experience, the Smith & Wesson Model 686 deserves the top spot. Built on the L-frame platform, it carries real mass where it counts. That weight soaks up 357 Magnum Snap and turns 38 Special Practice into something you'll actually enjoy. For seniors who value confidence over minimalism, that extra ounce in the right place makes follow-ups predictable and sight recovery noticeably faster. Ergonomically, the 686 is generous without being bulky. The cylinder gap, timing, and lockup are engineered to stay tight for decades, and the stainless construction shrugs off neglect better than many lighter options. Factory grips are comfortable, but swapping to a palm-filling ergonomic panel or a cushioned compound grip will turn this into a hand-friendly tool for wrists and joints that don't tolerate harsh bite. Trigger feel is one of those practical wins. Double action is controlled and breaks without nasty stacking, while single action gives a crisp, predictable break for those aimed shots. For seniors who want to keep training with light loads but retain magnum capability when needed, the 686 gives you both paths without compromise. It's easy to maintain, parts are plentiful, and local gunsmiths know how to service it, which matters if you want something that stays reliable long-term. If your priority is a revolver that builds shooter confidence through controllability, serviceability, and real-world performance, the Model 686 is a top choice to hang your hat on. Thanks for watching. I hope that rundown narrowed the clutter and gave you something useful to try at the range. If you're a senior thinking about switching, or you already made the jump, test those options under supervision and pick what actually feels right in your hand. Practical confidence beats theory every time. Make sure you like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. Stay sharp.